Suddenly, her English had become oh so British. Funny that, isn't it, love?
Good morning, Glenn.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're jumping into r/LegbeardStories. Yes, indeed. I promised you that after Christmas was over, we would get into some unfortunate nookie, and that is what we are doing today. This is part number 19. Holy heckers, it is flying right along. 33 parts, so we're definitely over halfway, but we still got a big chunk of the story to go, and I'm hoping that we'll get some vengeance out of it. You know what I'm saying? I really want to see Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto Headband fall down in a big way. Luckily, we don't have any Naruto Headband in this story, and this story has also been built up quite a bit by that green bear, the OP. She said this is one of Nookie's biggest stunts. So I suppose we have that to look forward to. I don't know if I'm going to be disappointed in humanity afterwards or what, but I suppose we'll find out. Fingers crossed that it's not too horrible, I guess. So, again, I hope you enjoy Christmas. Now we got New Year's to look forward to. And also, Rent coming on January 1st. It's just really nice. We get that 1, 2, 3 punch coming. But I hope you're doing all right. And we'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way. And then we will dive right into some of this LegbeardStories cringe. Unfortunate Nookie Part 19. Grand Theft Tickets to get your ex up the butt. What? What? In the butt. Do you want to put it in my butt? In my butt? Don't put it in my butt. All right. Hey, y'all. Hi there, Green Bear. Tell me, how many of you would have the balls to steal money from a dude off a fetish website to go bone your ex? I mean, Georgia Beard probably would. Anyways, let's get into it. Georgia Beard is one that we have not gotten a compilation together for. I'll probably get it up within the next day or so. So, don't run back and watch that series if you haven't. Wait for the compilation. That's my pro tip. Not safe for work warnings, of course. Leg and neck beards are gross, and this story is no exception. You have been warned. Things get ridiculous and heavy in this saga, and ridiculously heavy, even. There's no shame in noping out whenever you feel the need to. And I've felt the need to, but if I do that, then there's no story, so I will persevere. You aren't necessarily contractually obligated to do so. Are you new to this saga? I recommend that you start with ReddX reading the prologue here. Last part before that one was here, and the next part is here. There was also a playlist of all the videos that you can peruse at the beginning. I think I put a little card if I remember to do it. Also, my buddy Brute has been giving her side of Unfortunate Nookie in her own recollections. Brute's Tales on Unfortunate Nookie Part 1. Yeah, we'll get to those eventually, I promise it. And let's get our cast out of the way. We've got Unfortunate Nookie, our specimen, polyamorous, English-speaking in a non-English-speaking country, otaku cat girl, BDSM sub, just looking for love. Woe is her. Why does nothing ever go well for her, even though she only eats her meds all in one go? That is, if she eats her meds at all. Her not getting along with people is never due to her not communicating or not meeting people halfway, so yeah, she must just be cursed. Agoo! Agoo. Oh god. Greedy, that's OP. I've watched Unfortunate Nookie go for years, and I still cannot believe the unmitigated audacity of this bitch. Still felt responsible, and was tricked and trapped to think that she would not be able to survive without me. And if I left her, it'd be my fault for not trying hard enough for her. And my mental fortitude is really friggin' high, guys. I've done and put up with a lot, but guess what? I have even more left to give. Yeah, just keep going until you're a hollow husk. That is exactly what she wants. I would say walk away ASAP, but what's done is done. Now we're in it. I can give her even more patience and time and care and sanity, probably. Plus, if I let go of Nookie, all I have left is Naruto headband. And you need something else in your life, even if that something else is Nookie. Naruto headband, he's not here this time around. Oh, thank goodness for that. I'm happy to hear it. It's going to be a bit lighter today. Not light, but lighter. Bear is Unfortunate Nookie's ex. He's into martial arts and made his own electronic music, and he liked nerdy stuff. Nookie made them characters that had babies, etc. about 5 years ago at this point of the story. Tall, hairy man with a cool, wacky sense of humor. Oh, he's wacky. I think there was a point in everybody's life where they tried to make electronic music, isn't there? You download that cracked version of Fruity Loops or whatever, and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna be a real musical artist. When really the only Fruity Loops artist I know that hit it big was the dude that made that Fireflies song. Owl City? I think that's it. I don't know the dude's actual name, cause it's just one song. I ain't that into it. Anyways, we've also got Fabulous Peacock, friend to both Unfortunate Nookie and OP. We've also got Brute and Bastich, friends of Unfortunate Nookie. So I have reminded you of the players. Let's go into a recap, and then we'll go into the story. Where last we left off, I unloaded a lot of weird, abusive crap that Naruto headband did to me, and just shed even more light on his already provably crappy character. What can I say? 7 years. Stuff has some time to accumulate. Did you know women's problems all disappear when their periods end? That's fascinating. I didn't. Naruto headband didn't care when my dogs got lost, but hung around to insult me over it. Fantasized at length about destroying my apartment, said he actually wants to kill me. Only sometimes, though. Don't be so dramatic, OP. Jeez. Yeah, sometimes. That's not so bad, right? He wanted a baby with the woman he wanted to kill, supposedly. And he saw no reason why we should go comfort friends when they'd been struck by a tragedy because, and I quote, "It's bullshit." The friends got mugged. That was the tragedy. While I don't know if going over there is gonna, rewind the mugging, at least you can go let them know that everything's okay. You're gonna be fine. You are now safe. So yeah, it's definitely not useless or anything like that. But Naruto headband only seems to care about himself, as we have seen demonstrated endless times. So, in this story, Unfortunate Nookie pushed me to join the fetish website that she was on because she wanted more people on her friends list. Oh, that's a great reason. I'm not into any of the stuff that's on this site, but I guess I'll join because you don't know anybody. Oh, she pressured me. And I was also feeling lonely and hideous. I was that low that I longed for even strangers on the internet to tell me that I'm not ugly. Yeah, I wouldn't focus on any of that. Physical beauty is temporary, man. Focus on you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. That's the kind of stuff that lasts. Anyways, Unfortunately always put me down or turned compliments into accusations of me putting her down somehow, and Naruto headband wouldn't give me anything emotionally. I wasn't pretty to him, and he didn't want to cuddle or hold hands. He'd learn what turned me on just to get me to have sex with him, not to please me or to make me feel good. He effectively ruined those things for me because he turned them into something predatory, and so I felt even lonelier. He just used me, even though I wasn't ready to accept and understand that that was the truth. So, encouraged by Unfortunate Nookie, I posted semi-lewds online that Unfortunate Nookie, of course, criticized with great delight, pointing out muffin tops and arm flab and saying that my big breasts are gross and look weird, etc. Oh, I also had to look at Unfortunate Nookie's lewds, like her box of sex toys and a butt plug in her booty hole and bruises from kinky sex, etc. I think a butt plug goes a bit beyond a lewd, doesn't it? That shifts straight into nude territory, I'm pretty sure. I know, butt plug scientist. I study neckbeards, but yeah, I'm gonna count that. But some people inevitably liked my photos, and I felt nothing. Yeah, you can't fill the hole in your heart that way. It didn't make me feel any better. Then a customer from my night job came up to me and said, "I'm really pretty." And I felt confused. From the website," he said. "I saw your profile. You looked really nice in your photos." Uh-oh. That freaked me out, and I went, "Nope," deleted my fetish profile, and never looked back. Yeah, that was probably the right move. Probably shouldn't have gone there in the first place. Now this dude has seen more of you than, I'd probably be comfortable with a customer seeing of me. It was just never my thing. It gave me nothing but more heartache and anxiety. Unfortunately, of course, whined and moaned about having less friends there for weeks, though. This too was somehow a personal slight that I did just to hurt her. It had absolutely nothing to do with my own well-being and needs, obviously. Yeah, OP, you're not a real person. You're just a toy for Unfortunate Nookie to string along on her various misadventures. Isn't that right? Both of the two beards in this story are so much the same that it's no wonder they couldn't get along. They're too similar. So yeah, Unfortunate Nookie was obsessed with staying childlike, or at least not looking old. When she lost a ton of weight, she would brag that she's small enough to buy clothes from the children's section. So was I, though, after a time, and this angered her. She wasn't special enough if I was capable of the same thing. Why are you buying clothes from the children's section anyways? Then again, they do have some of the coolest t-shirts. I've been looking for like a man-sized Pokemon t-shirt. You know how impossible it is to find? That's society just telling me, hey, you shouldn't be wearing that. And to society, I give the finger, the most important finger. I want my Pokemon t-shirts.
Shut up and take my money.
She also claimed to look much younger than she was, and kept bringing it up whenever she could. Tee-hee, I'm such jailbait, was how she liked to express it.
Yo! Dang, how old is she? I don't know, look at her bio.
I'm 25-year-old jailbait. You don't know what that word means, do you? Stop saying it. I didn't see it. Her eternal resting bitch face, the glasses, the unhealthy complexion, the damaged thin hair, her constant baggy dark eyes. Despite dressing like a toddler, she always looked a lot older than she really was. Like a 40-year-old who was just not accepting that she grew up. Oh, the shade. I love it. Let us bask in this glorious shade. The way she shoved this in your face constantly was really annoying. So to try and soothe my ruffled feathers, I like to show complete strangers her photo and ask them to guess how old she was. They usually added about 5 to 10 years. Rarely someone guessed her actual age, but no one that I ever showed a photo of her thought that she was younger than she was, no matter how obsessed and sure she was about this. I mean, if you feel good about yourself, I guess that's the most important thing. But really, it seems like a pretty inconsequential thing to make yourself feel better. Oh, look, I wear clothes from the children's section. Like, weird flex, but okay. Even though she's over 30. Oh, I thought mid-20s. Okay, that's even worse. She's marked her age on her online profiles as 21 plus. Because she is just eternally in denial. Probably in her 60s, it'll still be 21 plus. Unless she goes through with her grand exit plan. But I'll get to that, I guess. I mean, live fast, die young, like James Dean said, you know. But it's getting a bit late for that one. I'm gonna buy a motorcycle when I'm 30. Is that part of the exit plan? Motorcycle, leather jacket? Pack of unfiltered red apples? Okay, now finally it is time. Are y'all ready for maybe the craziest thing that Unfortunate Nookie ever pulled? I guess I am. I'm here. I'm strapped in. It's gonna happen whether I'm ready or not. So let's just drink it in. Well, through that BDSM website, Nookie found herself a new daddy. This guy claimed to be a British lawyer working in New York for a big company making mad money. And for the cheap price of being his obedient sex slave, Nookie could have it all. Oh yeah, all I have to do is sell my dignity. I'm in.
Hey, looking for a good time, sweet cheek?
She gloated. Daddy has promised to send me to a private school for girls in England so I can finally finish high school. 30, hasn't finished high school. I'm so sad. What is going on here? I could even go to university if I'd like. We live in a mansion, and I can have as many pretty dresses as I want. I'll never want for anything again in my life, because he's rich and will buy me anything I want. And the sex will be so hot. And finally, the accent will fit. Oh my God, we've been building up to this the entire time. Who would have thunk it? Suddenly, her English had become oh so British. Funny that, isn't it, love?
Good morning, Glenn.
The irony is I've been doing that like most of the time. I did let it drop a few times, but I'm pretty sure she's been British through most of this story now. Oh, I just love how things line up sometimes. Unfortunate Nookie said, he's even bought me tickets to come visit him this Christmas in New York. Now, at least me, Brute, Fabulous Peacock, and I believe even Bastich all told her that this is a freaking scam, or at the very least, sketchy as hell. If she goes, she'll be sold off as a prostitute, or her organs will be harvested in some human trafficking ring, never to be seen again. Do not do it. Yeah, it's like the worst fate imaginable. It's always good to be safe, keep your head on a swivel and stuff like that. When I told my mom that I was going to the Philippines to meet my wife for the first time, she was scared that I'd get into like organ harvesting or sex trafficking thing. And I'm like, no, I've talked to this girl for months already. If she is a scammer of sorts, she's way dedicated. I gotta give her something for her dedication. Here, take my heart. And she did, quite literally.
Nice.
And then, unfortunately, of course, is just deaf to everybody's warning. And she says, huh, you're all just jealous that I'm set for life. I mean, let's think about this critically. You think this dude is actually telling the truth? If he's gonna go for a trophy wife, like, why this one? You could afford a nicer looking trophy, bro. That's all I'm saying. I can understand, I guess, if they connect on like some intellectual level, but you think Unfortunately has any levels that can be qualified as intellectual? It's probably the whole conversation. He's just like, I'm gonna put it in ya. And she's like, yeah, put it wherever you want. And he's like, I'm gonna fly you out here. And really, after a few months to a year of banging each other, the spark is just gonna be 100% gone. She's gonna be left high and dry, if it even gets to that point, which I really don't think that it will. There's probably a fly in the ointment that we have yet to see. Anywho, this was like her getting the dog all over again. We just couldn't stop her. Brute was already telling us that she won't go to her funeral. I also shrugged, saying, there's no stopping her. Might as well fuckle my seatbelt, as the OP from the Guitar Beard saga would say. So, the time comes, and she flies off on this supposed lawyer's money, and swerves into New Jersey to hook up with Bear instead. Oh, snap. Set for life? Not today. She doesn't even want to try and pull off the scam. Thanks for flying me out. Yeah, that's a real smooth brain play. Like, if the dude did have the money to fly you out and get you all set up, why would you go back to your ex? I'm not going to try and figure out Unfortunate Nookie's thought process because I really don't think that there is one. So yeah, she abandoned the daddy that she just stole money from. And he's like, what the hell? Where are you? How could you do this to me? Unfortunate Nookie,
You didn't reply to my message, and besides, you were too bossy. Bye.
oh my god, dude. Was this her plan the whole time? Or is she just like, you know, a fly bumping her head against the window, like not really sure what the actual plan is? This is like really weird. Obviously, this dude has something to offer, something you don't deserve, and you're just like, yeah, I'm not gonna go for that. How are people gonna feel bad for me if my life is going well? And she just like sabotages the whole thing. Oh my god. The logic or lack thereof. I just can't. And yeah, then she blocked him. She actually showed me their private messages, and he seemed polite enough. I mean, all things considered. Unfortunately, he tried to point out to me the obvious assholery or timestamps, like,
Look how this busy lawyer didn't reply to her within the hour.
not to mention the time zone difference between Europe and America. Duh. And thus, he was just a piece of crap, deserving of being dumped and having money stolen from him. And yes, she even used the return ticket on this dude's dime to fly back. I really tried to dig out just some teeny bit of guilt from her. You can't just scam a man's money out of him and ghost him. Jesus, Nookie. Although it's very possible that she just dodged a huge goddamn bullet because she's always just kind of dumb and horny. Oh, man. Really, I think dude could have done her a lot worse. Luckily, he was the bigger man about it, just shrugged his shoulders like, okay, I got finessed, I guess. But can't you, like, cancel the return flight or change the date so it's earlier so she misses it completely? And then she's got to pay, like, a rescheduling fee, and you know she ain't got money for that. I am definitely not as kind as this lawyer fellow was. I get schemes on top of schemes. See how you deal with this one. So Nookie never seemed to feel any remorse. Yeah, that never really changes, does it? Her Prince Charming, who had promised her everything, had apparently turned into a total scumbag. So she took his money and ran off to Bear. And she felt totally justified in doing this, because the dude was mean to her, and Bear was her one true love. She never did stop berating the lawyer afterwards, and eventually started echoing everyone's thoughts that he had been sketchy as hell. But that's not what she told us before flying to bone Bear on this guy's dime. And again, there are multiple people that she told both versions of this story. I mean, I'd be curious as to, like, what is sketchy about him. I do agree that it's sketchy to fly halfway across the world to meet up with somebody, but hey, I did it. It turned out to be the best thing that I ever did. This is how I met my wifey, so don't knock it too much, okay? Maybe having my organs harvested was a price that I was willing to pay for a chance at true love. I'll roll the dice on that. It's either die alone and miserable in my apartment, or possibly go find the one. Or possibly have my organs harvested, in which case I'm still not alone and miserable in my apartment, right? This is the win all around. Go ahead. But yeah, I would be curious to know how long she actually vetted this guy for. I didn't even think about coming to see wifey before like 6 months of talking for like most of every single day for 6 months. Then you know that she's really real. She's not like a player or, you know, grubbing for money like some of these girls do out here. Not that I even had much money to grub at that time. But that's a story for a different day. So Bear was not in a good place when Unfortunately showed up. Yeah, that's probably the only reason he'd interact with her. My mental state is poor. Come make me feel better about it with your even poorer mental state. He very clearly told Unfortunately that he's not looking for a relationship. He's happy to hook up, of course, because he's a man. It's like, I mean, you delivered the vag right to my doorstep. How am I going to return the sender now? But yeah, even if they hook up, they won't be dating afterwards. Unfortunately, relays this to me on MSN with great sorrow. OP, I think it's good that he's giving you clear boundaries. Just respect his wishes and enjoy your vacation, which somebody else paid for. Unfortunately.
I would make such a good girlfriend for him, though.
Yeah, until you get bored of him, you're like, oh, he's a jerk. Hey, send me a bunch of money, you jerk. You're a jerk.
You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk.
OP's danger senses are now tingling. She says, I'm sure that you'd make a good girlfriend, but what did Bear just tell you? Unfortunately,
That he isn't looking for a relationship right now.
OP, exactly. Do not push him, Nookie. Don't break his clearly defined boundaries. And unfortunately says,
I won't.
at least that's what she says on the outside, but on the inside, she's like, I'm gonna take the first chance I get. I'm gonna be the biggest scumbag you ever seen. She would then spam Facebook with makeout photos with Bear. Oh, nobody wants to see that. Her fetish website with sex photos that she also sent me directly without even asking if I wanted to see them. And tell me all about how she was
Blindfolded and spanked and tied up and gooed on.
gooed on. And how hot it all was. Yeah, I'm sure. Everybody loves goo, right? Kids always in the bathroom trying to make slime. Until they turn into teenagers, and then they go in the bathroom and try to make goo. You know what I'm talking about? OP says, Nookie, dear, I am so very happy for you. I am, truly. But please, stop telling me about the details. I really don't need to imagine my friends banging. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore, OP. Here's the physical photo evidence. The proof. Of course, unfortunately, doesn't even pause to acknowledge what OP just said. She's just like,
Oh my god, we accidentally had butt sex and it was the most amazing thing ever.
accidentally? No warm-up or nothing? Nookie's been practicing that on her own, I'm gonna tell you that. Usually there's gotta be a workup of some sort or else it's gonna hurt like hell. I just had another 404 error and just heard the TV broadcast signal lost. Beep. And part of my soul was forever erased from the cringe, which was accidental butt sex. I wiped the detailed description of how she slipped on from the edge of the sofa, etc. from my mind. Which for years I would not believe was a thing, since apparently Bear Schlong was huge, and butts are indeed notoriously small and dry holes. I asked Bear for some details about this saga, since we're still friends. Oh god, reliving the horror for us all. I guess I thank you for that, but now we have to relive it in just as vivid detail. Bear says, nah, it really happened. Glad I got a good Yelp review, lol. I asked Bear how it was being with Unfortunate. He said, well, parts were fun, a lot of it wasn't. He was just coming away from a messy breakup, and he just wanted to get his stuff together in general, so he didn't realize how dangerous Unfortunate could be. She acted like a kicked puppy 24/7. I mean, at times, she went from totally fine to suddenly acting like a kick puppy in the middle of a grocery store and clinging to me because, agoraphobia or something, and trying to do the full-time dom-sub relationship just like all the time, which I wasn't really into at all. I mean, agoraphobia definitely is a real thing, but it doesn't switch on and off at a whim, like so many of Unfortunate Nookie's other idiosyncrasies. But then at all of this, I have to say to Bear, why would you agree to it if you're not into it? You're just like, might make me feel better. No, dude. At that point, you're using another person, a very damaged person at that, to fill some holes within yourself, which is really not a good thing to do. So yeah, I don't feel for anybody in this story at this point, except for OP, of course. Is Bear better than Unfortunate Nookie on the whole? Yeah, I guess, but he's definitely not just an innocent bystander in all of this. And Bear elucidates, she was alluding that maybe she'd try to overdose if I left her, pretty much the piece de resistance. I had heard some people trying stuff like that to stay with someone, but I didn't think that it was a real thing. Well, you never met Unfortunate Nookie. She is damaged. She is a kicked puppy, but yes, kicked puppies can also be quite dangerous. They got these little needle teeth. They won't hesitate to bite you because they don't necessarily know where they stand within the pack. I would be very wary no matter how woo innocent Unfortunate Nookie tries to make herself seem. I need to stop saying woo. That's what this saga does to me. It just melts my brain. So I don't think Bear knew what Unfortunate Nookie had done with Curly. I told him though, and this threat gained a whole new level of disgust that he felt for years after the fact. It was very common for all of us to not believe that Unfortunate Nookie was as horrible as she really was. No, she wouldn't do that, would she? Was a common sentiment among everyone who knew her, except maybe Brute, who had the sharpest BS detector among us and went, yeah, she definitely would. Bear, while Nookie was over, a friend from work came over, which went about as well as I worried it would, because said friend also happened to be a pretty girl. Unfortunate Nookie was just being, completely inappropriate with physical affection while she was over. Like, she had her hands on my junk while I'm trying to have a conversation, climbed all over me, tried to kiss me, gave my friend dirty looks, etc. And she also regaled me with her stories about her friends back home, yourself included, OP. Complained how poorly everyone treated her. Initially, I tried to be like, the way you're explaining this doesn't make any sense. How did we get from point A to point B here? You're definitely leaving something out, but it got exhausting after a while, and I just settled into making vague, oh, that sounds terrible, noises at her. Yeah, that's the best defense. Just placate her until she leaves. Is she leaving yet? Please make her leave. Eventually, she flew back home. Thank God. She then started posting online how she and Bear were dating. Oh, great. Drawing their characters from all those years ago again, and talking constantly about
How amazing Bear was!
with far too much detail on their private life, etc. OP, Nookie, what are you doing? Unfortunate Nookie,
What?
OP, Bear said he doesn't want to date anyone. Why are you posting pictures of your little characters together and marking yourself as in a relationship on Facebook? Unfortunate Nookie didn't respond, and like Bear had put it, looked like a kicked puppy at me asking. I decided to press on. OP, Bear told you in no uncertain terms that he won't be dating you. So why are you acting like he is when he definitely said no? Unfortunate Nookie looked like I had just shat right inside of her sandwich.
I don't know,
she whispered, lip quivering and starting to cry. Much like Bear, I too was just getting exhausted and sighed. Stop it, before it blows up in your face, Nookie. No means no. Yeah, she doesn't know that word. So you can imagine my surprise when some weeks later, Bear confirmed that they were, in fact, now dating. What are you doing, bro? Jesus Christ. Was Bear being abused too, even with the separation of continents? I highly doubt that. I'm sure he got worn down in some way, but in the end, yeah, that's your choice, isn't it? kind of a dumb choice that you were obviously coerced into. So why would you agree at all? Just block her. It's fine. So yeah, unfortunate Nookie didn't get a job with Peacock in the candy shop, but she got her ex, Bear, to date her by lying about it being true before it was. Oh yeah, I gotta go to my non-existent job. I'll see you later. Bear to OP afterwards. I wasn't used to being manipulated. I mean, not to say she was subtle. She wasn't. But I wasn't in a good place back then, and I didn't realize what was happening until I was already in it. I wouldn't say that I was like white knighting her, but I did want to and tried to help her fix herself. She had this narrative that she'd be normal and good if she just got a little love and support, and I thought that I could do that. Yeah, that seems like a familiar tune. This is the tune that she's played to OP all along. And guess what? Nothing has changed. So, why you think that you've got the magic touch or something? Bear obviously knows OP at this point, right? He has observed all of this happening, right? And he's still like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. God. I do feel bad for him, but yeah. Personal responsibility comes in at a certain point. So now, unfortunately, Nookie was back to gothic clothes, electronic music like Skrillex, but especially Bear's beat boops, being the best noise in the world. She liked the animes that Bear liked, wanted to give Dota a try for him, and Bear did not want kids. Unfortunately,
Children? I never wanted babies. I don't understand people who go through childbirth. All you get is messy, screaming, troublesome shit goblins from almost dying. No thank you.
She has tried endlessly, dude, and now she just completely flip reverse it. Oh no, I never said any of those things. Like, you can gaslight everybody around you, especially when there's text logs, conversations on the books that directly contradict what you're saying. She's either way dumber than she looks or way more in denial than she looks. And so, unfortunately, got back together with her ex, Bear, with some dude's money from a fetish website, and came back home to try and get cash ASAP to move Bear into our country and live happily ever after with her one true love. Unfortunately, would also hound Bear constantly on instant messaging apps. Again, there's like a 7-hour time zone difference. If she couldn't catch Bear because he slept in late, a few times I caught her calling Bear's mom in the US, crying that
she needs to make him call her now
at like 6 a.m. for Bear. Is this not like a giant red flag for you, dude? How are you not like running for the hills at this point? I mean, my wife could talk to my mother. My wife, not my girlfriend. After years, my wife talks to my mother. But yeah, it takes a high level of comfortability to let that happen. All this? No. You are not doing that. So yeah, 6 a.m. for Bear, who is a man that won't rise before 11 a.m. if he can help it. Got that YouTuber schedule. I can't overstate how obsessed and on your skin in every meaning of the phrase unfortunate Nookie was. That's right, she just wants to be inside you.
Make me a part of you.
No. But yeah, R.I.P. Bear. Follow me to the next part, where unfortunately takes my stay as long as you like, literally, and lived with me and Naruto headband for 3 months. Boundaries? What are those? Can you eat them? Oh no, it just gnaws away at your sanity. I don't think it's edible, but it is eatable. You see, there's a difference. Crayons are eatable, they're not edible. Anyways, remember, laughter is the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, you can get over it. Also, aim to shower daily, cause it's good for you. Greenie, out. Good lord, man. Unfortunately, definitely has some shenanigans up her sleeves. There's something about her that allows her to manipulate people, and that is her biggest talent. She's not talented at a whole lot, obviously, but she 100% knows how to push people's buttons and get what she wants from them, which I guess that's the way that she's gotten through life thus far. Luckily, life being the just and fair thing that it is, it doesn't mean that she's gotten ahead doing those types of things, but she has managed to stay afloat. You know, I guess that's the very least that she deserves. She gets to continue existing. Oh, hooray. If you can't tell, I'm not super stoked about that, but she does just seem like kind of relatively lost. I don't want to take any pity on her because you know what happens after that, but I do hope she gets it figured out at some point, even though she's probably pushing, 40 at this point? God damn. Yeah, that means she ain't ever going to get it figured out. Quite tragic, quite a dumpster fire, but I gotta admit, I love watching a good dumpster fire. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, I hope you like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around if you should like. Yes, you could share the prologue. That's probably the better one to do. But, you know, I ain't going to tell you how to live your life. We also got a bunch of links in the description. Plugs and playlists and podcasts. Oh, my. There's also my social medias. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Hooray. Come on through. Say hello. I would appreciate it. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I'd like to thank them very much as I do every episode. So thank you, Robert Waits, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Comrade Ingy, Captain Clown Jerry, Honk Honk, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Cinema Susie, Danny, Jerry Nerdnick, For Old Lang Sign, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Ayurari, the most different Jerry spelling, Jari the Pirate, Livingston loves Jerry, hey, so does ReddX, Rogue, Silent Revolver, the OG, Jerry, Becca, Jerish Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Matthew Simmons, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, Nine Milady Nix is dancing. Jerry Bells. I see what you're doing there. A bundle of Jerry's is coming for your toes. Oh, my toe. A jury of juggler Jerry's. A Justy Jargonian Jerry. I know what that's referencing. I read that story in my Oblivion playthrough, I'm pretty sure. Alunia, Althea, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Atheist Jerry, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, but Jerry, it's cold outside. Camille Sarah, Commander J Tank, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dragon Shade, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Over Studios, Grand Tom got ran over by a reindeer. Beard. Yeah, that's Mr. J. We got Gypsy, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, Itchy Nuts, just scratching, bro. A pimp named J Crisp. Yes, you gotta say the whole thing. JM Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry, Bowberry, Banana Fanta, Fo Fairy, Fee, Mo Mary, Jerry. Oh, that's a throwback. Jerry the Smoke, Jerry to the other Jerry's, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk. John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, that's my name too. Jolly Black Jerry. Simbufa, because if you're boofing is free. KJW Kachow, Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, leader of the Thunder Jerrys. Ho! Jackass Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Carrot 797, God of Veggies, good for your eyes. Natari, Nightmare Jerry, oh no! Origami Jerry Steve, Panda Prince Jerry Bamboo, Patron Saint of Chicken Nuggies, Saint Jerry, Ramen. Formerly Deltarune Jerry. I like the name change. The change up is good, keeps it fresh. Phantom of the Pines, Jerry Kinza, Jerry Beth, Ramtide Lacrimates, which somebody told me means crying. I never see Ramtide cry, except that one time that I did, but we don't talk about that. Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Serrated Ash Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Teddy the Police, Tenta Monster, the One True Fusky, the Real Slim Jerry, please stand up. Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts. Treeberg, Vigilante Justice. Viking Jerry. Oh, we found Marble Jerry. They were in the attic playing Minecraft with a Sega Genesis controller. What are you doing to me? What does the beard say? Will Mags, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwin, Goose says honk, Jerry Atrick. Naga Vipers, Cy Jerry the Cyborg, Saints Blessing, a normal Jerry. Merry Christmas, lovers of cringe, or Merry Cringemas to you. Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom. Admiral T, Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Babsy Coon, Banished Knight, Barbushka's a Radiated Jam, Broken Spine Horseradish, the original different Jerry, this Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, yeah, Canadian Lynx, Chevron 7 Locked, Chia, Jerry. I don't know why I said it like that. Chris Meska, Cinnamon Buddy Dog, Corporal Admiral, Lieutenant Private General, Tigerian Princess, Furry Warrior Woo Jerry. I did it. Crypt Titties. Cuba Jerry, Devon Jerry, Dopamine Drought, Electrical Fennec, Ghost of Alva, give him both inches. And so he did. HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry. Hey, how's your short game, Jerry? Hydra Jerry. I'm pretty sure Tom got the Marble Jerry, but you didn't hear it from me. Love, Terry. Was it you? Was it your alter ego? I see what's happening here. Jeffrey! My name is Jeffrey! Jerry and Tom versus Santa Werebeard Apocalypse. Jerry in a Subaru STI. Jerry Pinks. Misa like your name. Jerry Alder Rivera. You see that mustache though? Jerry Bean. Yeah. Jerry Roxas. Yay. Fucked it up. Jerry role-playing game. Judge Jerry and Executioner. King Tom. Smasher of Jerryzillas. Kitsakin, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I see you, One Leg Jerry hopping into a new year. Oh, it's gonna be a good year, I'll tell you that. Organic Cam, Ghosty, Raptor Art, she's my Jerry Pie. Go drink a Mountain Dew, what a big surprise. Cringe so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet Jerry Pie. Sherlock Jerry Holmes to find Marble Jerry has arrived. I think you're too late though. He's in that attic playing Minecraft with Sega Genesis controller. Or maybe you're the one that found him. I'm not sure. I kind of missed out on the backstory here. We got Snary, the Snob Jerry, Spoonie the Rogue, Steve Bugelli, the Necro Jerry God, the original Jerry, not the most different Jerry, maybe to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, Aquarium Escapee, Zestaboo Jerry, Tom Promise Jerry swears all bad Jerry. Tom be good boy to switch his fat soy size. Go look it up and buy it. I mean another ReddX video. I don't know what that name is, but that's how I'm gonna pronounce it, I guess. And also, thank you to my $1 patrons, beautiful people that they are. Indeed, you guys absolutely killing it on the Patreon. Cracks me up every time, honestly. Just the magnitude of it, the ridiculousness of all these silly names. Like a few names alone probably wouldn't get me, but reading one after another for minutes at a time, you try it yourself one of these days. It will make you laugh, inevitably. People think I'm faking it after the 50th time, but honestly, it is equally as ridiculous as the first time we did it. Oh, thank you guys all so much for supporting on the Patreon. Beautiful, beautiful people that you are. The end of the month is coming up, so if anybody else wants to sign up on the Patreon, I mean, I highly encourage that. I would appreciate it, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Please. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.